There's a fundamental difference between how strong-minded people think versus how the majority of people think. Success isn't just some great mystery, it's largely about mindset and psychology. When looking at successful people through history, they don't all share common backgrounds or circumstances. But what they do share is one specific way of thinking. There's a clear difference in the way successful people think compared to most others. Success isn't a mystery, it's about mindset and how we approach challenges. Successful people use their minds to navigate obstacles and learn in the middle of every challenge. The truth is, success is available to any of us that are willing to think differently and take the right actions. Unshakable people believe that every problem has a solution, and when faced with challenges, they don't see permanent barriers, they see skills that they just haven't acquired yet. The distinction is crucial. Unsuccessful people see limitations as stop signs, while successful people see them as a sign telling them that there's something that they need to learn right now. When unsuccessful people encounter obstacles, these are the things that they say to themselves. I don't know how to do that, and they stop. Or I can't afford it, and they stop. These statements that they tell themselves, it becomes the reality, and they define the boundaries of what they believe is possible. Successful people, on the other hand, they encounter the exact same obstacles, but the difference is what happens next. They transform each limitation into a specific task. Instead of saying, I'm not that type of person, they say, I need to develop those qualities. They don't deny their limitations, they acknowledge them, and they put them in their agenda as skills that they're just going to develop. This is the critical shift. They see the limitations not as permanent barriers, but just temporary gaps in their knowledge or their resources. Successful people have one major difference in the way they approach challenges. They ask how instead of making I can't statements. Faced with obstacles, an unsuccessful person might think, can't do that, I don't know how, and their mind automatically closes, shutting down any possibility. They see challenges as walls that they just can't climb. But successful people, you're going to approach things different. Instead of shutting down, open your mind and ask, how can I do that? How can I make that happen? Or how can I afford this? The difference is subtle, but it's powerful. When you ask yourself questions, you force your brain to search for solutions. This keeps us engaged, creative, and thinking. Question invites curiosity and innovation, prompts us to explore new paths, ideas, and strategies. On the other hand, making statements like I can't or it's not possible, this immediately locks our thinking into a fixed place and shuts down any potential for growth. For instance, when I was building a business, instead of thinking, I don't know how to build a website, I just thought to myself, how can I learn to build that website? I began researching, asking for help, watching videos, and practicing until I just figured it out. This is what successful people do. They just figure things out. And also for me, when I started a YouTube channel, instead of saying, I don't have an audience, I asked myself, how can I build an audience? And that question, it kept my mind focused on taking actionable steps such as creating good content, connecting with people, and building relationships over time. And it's the same for you. Whenever you hit a roadblock in your own life, whether it's business, health relationships, or personal growth, ask yourself, how can I make this work? Or how can I get better at this? When you ask yourself these kind of questions, you give your mind the opportunity to find solutions. It's about believing that there's always an answer out there. Sometimes you just need to be open enough to find it. That's the difference between people who break and people who break through. Everyone faces limitations, and everyone has gaps between their current reality and their dreams. The question is, what do those gaps mean? For successful people, gaps are simply a curriculum, list of skills that they just need to learn. This mindset shift from seeing limitations as permanent conditions to seeing them as temporary skill gaps is what enables breakthrough success for you. We can't avoid challenges or wait for perfect circumstances. You have to transform every idea to how can I. When people approach life with the belief that every problem has a solution, every limitation is just a skill that they haven't learned yet, they become unshakable. They may struggle, but they never stop moving forward. That's the difference between people who break and people who break through. You've got the understanding. Now it's time to apply it. Watch this next video right here to learn the exact steps I use to stay disciplined and push through any of my challenges. And if you want to keep getting better,